Let's review this book. Together let's take a look. Would you buy it or would you leave it? Let's review this book. Let's review this book. Together let's take a look. Would you like to keep it or would you let it go? Tell me in the comments below. Does it make the world a better place? Does it put a smile upon Mother Nature's face? Is it helping the animals to be free? Will it help us grow our empathy? Let's review this book. Together let's take a look. Would you like to keep it or would you let it go? Tell me in the comments below.
Hello students, welcome to class. This is a book I bought yesterday for 50 cents here in Canada at a secondhand bookstore. It's amazing the kinds of treasures that you can find there. And also buying books secondhand is good for the environment. Less trees need to be cut down. Today I'd like you to think about the different animals that you have come across in your life. Not just cats and dogs, and not just the dead ones that are on your plate, like pigs, chickens, cows, turkeys, and lambs, but other animals that you don't see as often. Oh, see, you can see who donated the book. It was only 50 cents. And as you think about these animals that you've encountered in real life, or that maybe you've seen programs about on TV, tell me what you think. What do you think of the different animals that you've met or that you've seen? Do you have any ones that particularly you enjoy? And if so, why do you think that you enjoy some animals and not as much others? Here's a heron. Here's a mallard. Here's a perch. Here's a water flea. Here's a pike. Do you know the names of all these fish? Have you heard of them before? Rainbow trout, bronze bream, and an eel. I like this book because you can learn about nature and ponds and swamps and so on. Now here on page 6, we have a bunch of different plants, and they talk about the types and the zones where you can find plants. Here's a white water lily, frogbit, Canadian pondweed. Here are small animals. These creatures live among the water plants and also in the mud and decaying matter on the bottom of a pond. Have you ever found these little animals in nature? Have you ever seen a dragonfly? There's a camp that we go to in the summer, every summer, and we see lots of dragonflies on the pond there. I love to see them. Have you ever seen a frog up close? It's important that when we see these different kinds of animals that we don't interfere, we don't catch them, and we don't touch them. Can you think of why? Why we should leave them alone? Same for birds. Do you know the kinds of birds that you see here? I don't even know all of these names. Most people don't.
Love animals, eat plants. Be brave, be kind, be love, be vegan. Don't bring dead animals into any schools. If we want to teach compassion, that should be one of the rules. Don't bring stolen cow's milk into any schools. We should strive to be vegan, that should be one of the rules. I heard that these are accidentally vegan, so let's check the label, cause that would make my day. I heard that these are accidentally vegan, so let's check the label. 'cause that would make my day. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. They're accidentally vegan, so I'm gonna eat some. Hip hip hooray. They're accidentally vegan, so I'm gonna eat some. Hip hip hooray. Now be careful, 'cause they might not all be vegan every time. So check the label while you sing this little rhyme. Oh, yup, 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 shut up. No, 'cause they're accidentally vegan, so I'm gonna do my dance, yeah, hip hip hooray. They're accidentally vegan, so I'm gonna do my dance, yeah, hip hip hooray.
Now here they're talking about making a pond environment. What do you think about that idea? Do you think it's a good idea to recreate nature? And if so, why? Do you think it's okay to put fish in a pond like this? Do you think maybe they would prefer to stay in their natural environment? Here's some different insects. Write in the comments what you think. Have you ever been for a walk in the woods and noticed different animals and been kind of impressed and like excited and happy to see them? Maybe you saw a rabbit or a groundhog. Did you ever see a deer pop out of the forest in a meadow somewhere? How about a fox? I saw a fox just a couple of weeks ago here, outside in the evening, watching wildlife. What about trees? Do you know the names of all of these trees? How many kinds of trees do you know? Most people only know a few types, but there are so many species of trees and flowers to learn about. Same for insects. Do you think the insects like it when you watch them? Do you think they mind? Do you think they want to be touched? I think if I was an insect and a giant came up to me, I would probably want that giant to leave me alone. And to the insects, to these animals, these small animals, you are a giant. So you can be pretty scary. We have lots of squirrels where we live. Do you? I don't really see red squirrels. They look more orangey, but we don't have those. We have hedgehogs here. And we see raccoons in the evening. Do you? And one of the things that I thought about after I bought this book for my granddaughter to look at is this page. Now, at first it seems interesting to make a home for ants. But then I looked a little bit closer, and in fact, well, let's read this together. You tell me what you think. Make an ant's nest. It can be fun to study insects in your own formicarium or ant's nest. See diagram. You need a solid tray and a sheet of glass to cover it. Roll some modeling clay into folds for tunnels and press them into the glass. Showing figure 1 here. I'm not going to read all of it, but I think you get the idea, is that basically you're making a home for the ants. But here it says, you can cover this with a plastic bottle if you want to keep them in. So essentially, this is kind of a prison. So they're advocating for you to build a prison for innocent animals. They didn't do anything wrong. And then it says here, now go out and collect a family of ants. So they want you to build a prison, and they want you to kidnap a family. They must all be the same species. A good guide to this is their color. Make sure you get a large queen as well as workers. So this is what you call speciesism. We wouldn't do this to humans. To put them behind a glass and stare at them after you've kidnapped them from their families and their friends. So although these books can be good, it's important to look at them from a vegan point of view. And that's what we're doing here.
End speciesism, end speciesism, end speciesism, be kind to the animals. End vegan phobia, end vegan phobia, end vegan phobia, be kind to the activists. Dance if you're vegan, hands up if you're vegan. Think you can't do it? Try it, you can. Yeah! Being vegan doesn't mean that you just do your best not to eat, wear, or use animals. Being vegan also means you bravely speak out to defend them.
So when you get these kinds of books, you're probably going to enjoy about 90% of it, where they teach you different plant names. You can learn about nature and feel connected to it. But be careful not to cross the line where you're interfering, where you're scaring the animals, or making them unhappy in any way. Okay? Okay. So thanks for having a look at this book with me. Let me know what your favorite books are in the comments below. Do you have any books that you absolutely love that you think everybody should read? Something about connecting with animals? Some people like, for example, Charlotte's Web, and there's, of course, many, many others. So which are your favorite books to read about animals and being kind to them? Let me know. Thanks for being here. Coming up on screen are going to be a bunch of other videos. Have a look at them. Be curious. Look around That Vegan Teacher's channel. And subscribe if you think this channel has some value. Thanks for being here. Bye for now.
Let the animals live. Let the animals live. They never did a single thing to hurt you, so let the animals live. Let the animals live. Eat veggies, fruits, nuts, and seeds. This is the sacrifice you can give. Heaven will thank you for these good deeds. God will be pleased if you just let the animals live. The sins of your past God will forgive if you just let the animals live. Let's follow That Vegan Teacher on YouTube right now.